The foundation of Buddhism is based on these two systems that is called the Skillful Means and Wisdom. Skillful Means is the male component and the wisdom is the female. The entirety of the Buddhism can be classed under this male and female or skillful means and wisdom. So there are systems within the Buddhism teaching that fall under skillful means and system that fall under wisdom. So everything that we do within the Buddhism learning, everything is to acquire wisdom. So all the actions that we do, they are the skillful means. And why do we do those actions? To acquire wisdom. So everything in Buddhism based on these two principles of skillful means and wisdom. So this is the foundation of Buddhism. So I put that as A, as like the number one. This is the foundation of Buddhism. And to make it really easy and to summarize it, what is the highest knowledge in Buddhism? Why do people practice Buddhism? What is the premise of Buddhism? The highest knowledge in Buddhism is sunyata, emptiness. Why people practice Buddhism, or what is Buddhism all about? It's about knowing sunyata, emptiness, zero. Sunyata, and then you have emptiness, that's translated in English, and zero. It directly means zero. So emptiness, sunyata, directly means zero. So that's what it is. So why do people practice Buddhism? To gain the highest knowledge. That is sunyata, emptiness. So everything that the mainstream sensationalism-based Buddhism, that what they teach you is like the concept of like nirvana and enlightenment. They sound very abstract. But if you directly want to know what people are doing, like what the real Buddhists are doing, what the monks are learning about, why they study for 13 years, what are they studying? They're studying to gain the knowledge of sunyata, emptiness, zero. Direct knowing of what Buddhism is about, and not your sensationalism-based, consumerism-based, hyped up understanding of enlightenment and nirvana. So those are like more conceptual. Those can be classified as conceptual. This is more direct. It will just open, it'll tell you like this is what Buddhism is about. It's about knowing sunyata and emptiness. That's what Buddhism is about, and most Buddhists don't know. So if you ask those people about sunyata, if you ask those people about prajnaparamita, they have no idea. So you just think they just know Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, Gautama Buddha, and they know about enlightenment, and that's like your generic mainstream knowledge. Like you have the generic mainstream Christianity. Buddhism has that as well, the generic mainstream Buddhism. But if you go deep, this is what the real monks are learning. This is what the monks that dedicate their lives to learning sunyata, emptiness. So that's what Buddhism is really about. It's about sunyata, emptiness. So that's the second most important thing. How to acquire sunyata, zero. Practice the 6 paramitas in accordance to the tribulation. Because this system that I am giving testimony for, or the system that I am a part of, and my work is based on the tribulation. So we are not just studying sunyata conceptually or to gain enlightenment or to gain nirvana or to be a monk. We are in the tribulation ground. Humanity is in the tribulation ground. We are in the end times, and the Buddhists don't have that knowledge of the tribulation, the end times. But the sunyata is directly applicable during the tribulation, and that has been my personal Vajrayana spiritual practice that I am doing, that my system is coming directly from our Father in heaven and Christ. And I come from the Nepalese lineage, and I'm doing the sunyata zero within the tribulation ground. So I'm not practicing sunyata as a Buddhist monk or a Buddhist Takini or just to practice Buddhism. but I'm actually doing sunyata for the tribulation. And this dynamic is applicable to the whole world. So Buddhism is like your knowledge system of our world. That's what it is. It is not a religion, but it is the knowledge system of our world. And you have to know the Buddhist system and understand the Buddhism system in order to pass during the tribulation, or in order to gain liberation during the Great Tribulation, that is the end times for humanity, because we are wrapping up the 6,000 years that we have been a part of. The 6,000 years comes from the Hebrew calendar, and that you have to acquaint yourself with and know about. So the 6,000 years is a well-known concept within the Hebrew culture. The Christians don't know this knowledge, but the Hebrews know that, because our world is timed according to the Hebrew calendar. Because Hebrews are the chosen lineage of our Father in heaven, who the Son of God, Yeshua, Jesus Christ, came into this earth via the Hebrew lineage. And so we have our Great Tribulation, or the end times for humanity, or the end of a 6,000-year-old spiritual cycle, is found within the Hebrew calendar. So you can learn that. So the tribulation, you can understand it through the Hebrew scriptures. The book of Revelation was given by our Father in heaven to our Lord Jesus Christ, Yeshua. Jesus Christ gave it to Prophet John, and Prophet John wrote it down and gave it to us. The book of Revelation is applicable to the entirety of the human race, and sunyata, emptiness, zero, is applicable to the entirety of the human race during the end times. So how to acquire sunyata? Practice the 6 paramitas in accordance to the tribulation. So you can't just practice sunyata to practice sunyata. You can't just practice the Hebrew scriptures or Christianity to practice the Hebrew scriptures, or just to practice Christianity. You can't. You have to do everything according to the tribulation now. So even whether you're practicing Buddhism, you're practicing Hebrewism, you're practicing Christianity or Muslim or Hinduism, whatever you're doing, you have to practice according to the tribulation. And some of the religions are made up religions, they're satanic religions. So you have to discern that and follow this system that I'm giving you, because I'm actually practicing this. And through my mission, when I complete my mission and we rapture and go to heaven, after the rapture, the Great Tribulation begins. So this is a direct system. So if I'm not talking about other religions, those systems are not applicable here. You can naturally discard that. But if I'm telling you do the Hebrew and do the Sunyata Buddhism, those are applicable, directly applicable. And it is like I'm just making it very simple and concise, so you can focus on the direct path and not be led astray by the demonic satanic system telling you that all of these other made up satanic religions are applicable. They are not. They are leading you astray. So you have to basically refine, absolutely refine your path, and which I have done. I'm in my refinement process. So sunyata is directly applicable during the Great Tribulation. How do you learn about the Great Tribulation? Read the Hebrew scriptures or the Bible, or all the scriptures that I have shared. Read all of those, they're all applicable. Practice sunyata in accordance to the tribulation. So that's very important. And the 6 paramitas, which I have already made a video about, you can have a look at that. And there are also 10 paramitas, but 6 paramita is the focus at this stage. And if the 10 paramitas are revealed to me in the future, I can speak about it. But right now I'm only opened up to this, and I'm perfecting that. Christ Yeshua came in the second wheel of Dharma in the Mahayana vehicle. Mahayana is based on sunyata. So when Jesus Christ came during his first coming in this earth as a baby, when he was born as a baby, and he grew up and became a full-grown person and did his spiritual mission on this earth, completed his spiritual mission. When he first came, he came in the second wheel of Dharma, in the Mahayana vehicle, and achieved his sunyata, achieved his own emptiness. And that's what was going on when Christ came during his first coming. That was the second wheel of Dharma had been turned, and Christ completed his Sunyata Mahayana vehicle and left. And that's why the Sunyata is applicable during the tribulation, because that is also Christ's direct system that he achieved, the Mahayana vehicle. Tribulation is the third wheel of Dharma as Vajrayana. So practice Sunyata in accordance to understanding Sunyata 0 within the direct world system, i.e. the satanic system, that affects every human, as did the corona. So tribulation is the third wheel. So Christ came in the second wheel. So the tribulation is the third wheel. So the rapture is the third wheel. I am doing the third wheel, Vajrayana. So tribulation is the third wheel. So practice Sunyata in accordance to understanding Sunyata 0 within this direct world system. So you have to be able to apply your Buddhist learning. You have to be able to apply Sunyata Emptiness 0 within this world system, because we're directly dealing with the world system. And how does Sunyata apply to the world system? Is because the world system is a satanic system. And the satanic system is the veil that we have to drop. We have to understand we are living in a satanic world system. We are living in a demonic world system. We are living in an infected world system, a fallen world system. So this is something you have to unveil and understand. And the word satanic comes from Satan, S-A-T-A-N, Satan, the prince of this world, the fallen angel, and he is actually the devil. So he is the devil himself. So that's why the system is called the satanic system, because Satan is the devil. And you have to unveil his world and the work that he has done in the mainstream reality, or in our entire world system, is based on the satanic system, which is the system of the devil. And how does it affect everyone? How does the satanic system affect everyone? Because every human being on this planet Earth, was affected by the coronavirus. So that's why you cannot say, oh, the satanic system doesn't apply to me. It does, because you were affected by the coronavirus. That's how we have to weave everything, so that we can give a clear message and a clear picture to everyone, so everyone can successfully understand what we are talking about and practice Sunyata in accordance to the tribulation. And tribulation applies to the whole world, because we live in a direct worldly system that is satanic based. So our world is satanic based. So if you say, oh, Satanism is Hebrew and is Christian, it doesn't apply to us, incorrect, because Satan did the coronavirus. He did the pandemic. And Satan did the pandemic, so the corona applies to you. And that's another veil that you have to drop. It's like the coronavirus veil. You have to drop that veil and understand that Satan did the coronavirus. And here I've written Corona, dig at Corona, compassion, also king as crown. So this is how the satanic forces deal with the heavenly system, because Christ, our Father in heaven, the angels of heaven are watching our entire spiritual journey, and the satanic system are always mocking Christ, Father, and the angels of heaven. So when they do the coronavirus, they will actually call it Corona, because they know the tribulation is to do with Buddhism. And so they will put Karuna. Karuna means compassion in Buddhism. So Karuna also represents the male, which is the skillful means as part of the Karuna. Karuna is actually compassion. It translates to compassion in Buddhism. Everyone's heard of the compassion of Buddhism, so that's Karuna. So when the Satanists are like, oh, they're going to do the Buddhism for the Great Tribulation, they'll call the virus Corona because of that, because it sounds like Corona. And also crown. Corona also means crown, and Christ is the king of this world. He's the future king of this world. The reason why they chose Corona is because it's like hints at Karuna, compassion, and king as crown. So this is the cipher reality and the cipher language that the elite forces use. So you will see that if you know the nature, satanic nature, you will see this kind of language, which is also called the twilight language in Buddhism. You will see this used a lot, this kind of language, and this communication system is used a lot throughout the mainstream. And I've given testimony for others. I've decoded other different things as well. You can unveil it that way through use of words like that. That's why you have to unveil the corona and realize that it is done by Satan. It is not a natural virus, but it was a script, and the corona was done by Satan and given by Satan to the whole world, because Satanism is based on disease. They are part of the disease matrix. They are like the death matrix system. So all of this disease comes from Satan, comes from the devil. Satan in Nepali is also called Satan. So it's like the same. So it's easier for me to understand, like Satan is Satan. And I think it's called Shaitan or Shaitan. The same type of pronunciation is used for Hebrew and also for like Hindi. So Satan is not unique to Hebrew or Christian. It translates to other languages as well. So this is how you can connect and unveil everything. So you can practice sunyata in accordance to the Great Tribulation, but just your Hebrew layer and your Christian layer is not enough during the tribulation, because you have to understand sunyata, which is the learning system of our world is Buddhism. And Father in heaven is Buddha, and he was the first wheel of Dharma. He himself was the first wheel of Dharma. So Father in heaven is Buddha. So Buddha himself taught sunyata, and that's why sunyata is key during the tribulation. Sunyata is your key. If I have to be very direct and pinpoint it and point it with my finger, I'd be like, do sunyata during the tribulation. Do sunyata during the tribulation. That's what I would say. If I have to do like the Garab Dorje's finger pointing, I would do sunyata. This one. I would point at that. That is my path and my journey to basically refine something and eliminate all the excess, eliminate all the different confusing pathways, the confusing systems that we have, and we do not know where we are going, left, right, up, down, north, south, east, west. We have no idea where we are going, what to practice, how to succeed, how not to go to hell, how to go to heaven, how to make it into the Christ age, how not to burn in hell forever. So we do not know left from right during this particular season in our world, which is based on total confusion. That is what Satan, and the Maras, that's what they want. But I can come in and refine the process and basically collapse the world, which is what sunyata does. Sunyata collapses everything. Sunyata collapses everything that you hold on to, any systems, any religion, any culture, whatever you have held on to, sunyata collapses. And it tells you it is an illusion, delusion. Don't hold on to that. And that's also the base of sunyata, is to dissolve, is to collapse illusions and delusions. Anything you're holding on to, sunyata wants you to let go. Sunyata wants you to embody your own zero. And that's your direct path to heaven. So without your sunyata emptiness, you cannot go into heaven. You'll be stuck down here with your mark of the beast, financial technology. And then that financial technology will send you directly to hell. But if you want to go up here into heaven, you need sunyata emptiness zero. So once the sunyata collapses this whole reality through unveiling the satanic system of our world, and then you can understand everything is fake, everything is empty, everything is zero, everything is sunyata, everything is sunya, everything is zero. And through that realization, that would take you to heaven.